for the last two meetings, the 10th of October and the 28th of October. Motion by Betty, seconded by, I almost said Mr. Phelan, but it's the other Danny. See? Yeah, Mr. Kelch. I looked around there and it said Phelan. I said, well, wait a minute, that's... You move up one. You're up one. Hey, I'm moving up in the neighborhood, huh? Okay, looking through the minutes, do we have any corrections, changes, comments about the minutes that have been prepared by Megan? If there's no questions or corrections, we'll call for a vote on this. All those in favor of accepting the minutes signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed signify by saying nay. Ayes have it, unanimous vote. And we now get into our informational items, and we have from the Sanitary District, Brian. He is here, and he did a wonderful job helping us old people who attended the I2 dinner, and I learned a lot about Brian, and he's well related to a lot of those people.
Yeah, they have some stories. Happy to answer any questions. Thank you for having me, Mr. Chairman. Sorry to miss last month's meeting. Minutes are in your packet, so happy to answer any questions you might have.
Okay, Brian, thank you very much. No questions.
Coach?
Yes.
Brian, do you maybe want to touch on some exciting stuff that you have on there? Didn't you just enter an agreement?
With RNG,
For the
renewable natural gas,
Yep.
we just did that. So we're going to turn methane gas into renewable natural gas and put it into the natural gas grid. So that's a revenue generator for us potentially, but more importantly, it gets rid of the air emissions from the plant in that regard. So be a good project if it comes to fruition.
Okay. All right. Moving on, we've got facilities master plan, and Calvin, you're going to handle that for the county today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Currently, the projects we have going on, starting at the jail, we have the trench drain out. They're slated to start December 9th. They were trying to cover up some of their other projects so they could get out and start at the jail. The cell sink conversion is continuing. They actually started today. Also, with the ring road out of the jail, I do have a resolution that will be brought to the committee today. Here at the courthouse, you may have seen the carpet out in the common areas in the next door to conference room 402 is complete with some minor details. Have to come back and put some coat base in and some minor touch-ups. The probation, that packet is in, that will be brought to the committee today also. Main Street steps, the PO has been awarded to Opperly Construction. They are working in conjunction with Terra Group. We are in progress of working on that with the plaza fountain area and the courthouse grounds. With the facade here at the courthouse, they wanted to start late October, early November, but with the weather and the other projects they had going on, I'm still trying to verify a date to start. Mr. Zimmerman was supposed to get back to me. I have not heard back from him yet. And also with the circuit clerks and order of protection, I'm currently putting together a agenda brief and resolutions to get that to you, committee also. Be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Calvin? Thank you, Calvin.
Coach? Calvin said the agenda briefing, so we'll have a special meeting before December's meeting for the circuit clerks?
Yeah, Mr. Dillon, yes, we will ask the committee to have a special committee meeting on December 12th.
Okay. Just for those paying attention, that's to make sure we have that under contract by the end of the year.
We plan to do that with our special meeting.
Correct. And a portion of the funding for that project is ARPA, so that actually will be a request of you to call a special executive committee meeting on the 12th.
Any other questions? Thank you, Calvin. And the next one, Scott, probably going to handle this, aren't you?
I'm happy to. Or Heather is also in the audience, and
Oh,
she
I'm sorry.
normally she normally reports out on that.
Heather?
So I'll let her do that.
I didn't mean to overlook you. I put down Scott. Go ahead. You know quite a bit about these finances.
I do my best. In your packet, you'll find the capital projects and build to date, paid to date. If you have any specific questions on those, I'm happy to answer them. We have a lot that bids have either recently been awarded or, as Calvin mentioned, we'll be requesting a special committee meeting to award those before the end of December.
Anyone with any questions? Thank you, Heather.
Thank you.
Okay, we're down to the Highway Department with Jeff and Amy.
Good afternoon. Last month, the committee requested information about all the construction engineering contracts we've done in the last several years. Just a little background on the agenda briefing, exactly what the construction engineering entails. There's a qualified person known as a resident engineer and inspectors. They do construction oversight of the projects. We test all the materials. We make sure the materials being placed right, make sure the rebars are placed in the correct place, make sure the concrete's the correct thickness, the asphalt's the correct thickness, the gravel. As I mentioned last time, every foot of pipe, every cubic yard of concrete, every ton of gravel, every single one of those items has to be documented and accounted for and balanced. So if we call for 210 cubic yards of concrete and we end up using 209, that has to be balanced in the project. That's all work that the RE does and the staff does. So it's a lot more. I guess it's a lot more than we let on that it is, and I apologize to the committee if I lighten how much we do or the staff does out there. But if you have any questions, I am willing to answer them for you. I did two charts. The first chart is projects supervised by the consultants over the years. That's from 2016 up through now. And then I did for comparison the projects that we did with our staff from 2014 up through now.
Jimmy, since you asked that question last meeting, are you satisfied with what you have received?
No, I'm very appreciative of the fact that that turnaround was so quick, and I think it was good for you to see the difference of, I mean, I would have never guessed that we've done 35 on our own, so it's nice. Well done, as I told you, well done.
Anyone else with questions? Okay, then we need to get to our resolutions, and the first one was an annual one that we make. So could I have a motion on that from Betty? And seconded by Matt Windisch.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Back in October, you approved an appropriation of $3 million not to exceed for materials in 2025 out of the county motor fuel tax account. Since then, we went out for quotations for these such materials, and it's in the attachments. You can see what we went out for quotations for. Again, we only buy the materials that we need, but we want to be transparent to show you how we went out and got the prices that we will be using for next year. So happy to answer any questions on our quotations for 2025.
Does everybody understand this is for our maintenance material out of that $3 million that we approved from our motor fuel tax a few months ago? No one with any questions? I'll call for the vote on this resolution. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed signify by saying nay. Ayes have it. Moving on to the second resolution that we have here. The ring road, which was mentioned earlier, and we need a motion on that. Motion by Betty. Second by Terry.
Thank you again, Mr. Chairman. This is the resolution for the Phase B of the jail ring road. As you know, we had done the JDC parking lot in the first phase of the jail ring road from the entrance in between the two facilities to Espinoza Drive. The second phase will continue from the entrance up to the north around the jail to the backside of Espinoza Drive. The bid was solicited for contractors. We had 6 respond. Knapp Concrete being the lowest bidder. They were contacted in good faith. They did mention that they are good with their pricing. The job with contingency would not exceed $402,259.17. With that, the engineer did adjust the pricing for the contractors a little bit. As you are aware, we did have some concrete thickness issues on Phase A, so we accounted for that. And if we fall under the appropriated thickness, then we should be accredited for that. And again, it should not exceed the $402,000 mark, and they look to start beginning of spring. Happy to answer any questions.
So they're going to start as soon as the weather's good in spring, as soon as the weather turns for
Correct.
them. Yeah. Anybody with any questions for Calvin? Being no questions, I'll call for a vote on the resolution. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed signify by saying nay. Ayes have it. Resolution passes. And our last resolution here has to do with engineering projects, and we'll
Yes, Mr. Chairman. This is for the probation department on the 5th floor of the new sides.
I'm sorry, I read the wrong. I read the wrong. I looked up here and I read engineering projects, and I knew it was probation. But did we get a vote? We didn't need a motion. That's what I thought. I thought I was going too quick. If we have a motion on this, motion by Betty, seconded by Sharon. Go ahead. I'm sorry to slow us up.
No,
Go ahead, Calvin.
Thank you. Again, this resolution is for the probation department. This is also inquiring about some office space located on the 4th floor. This project has been solicited for bid with 5 responders, Visco Construction Company being the lowest. This would be a total of $1,000,000, $78,550 for the total project. This also includes the Treasury's Department and the Order of Protections on the ground floor. And this would be through the capital building improvements. And it also includes the 10% contingency for any extras needed. Be happy to answer any questions.
Did you say Gipsco was getting the contract instead of
Gipsco
Bishop's?
is a recommended low.
Okay.
Gipsco.
No, isn't this one Bishop and then
Yeah,
Bobby's is
I
good
thought I
stuff?
heard Bishop.
Calvin's
I'm
Bishop
sorry.
was low on this one.
Yes, I'm
Gisco's
sorry.
low on Bobby's.
Yeah,
Okay.
I believe.
Gisco is with the circuit clerk's office.
Yes.
Circuit Clerk's office, yes, I'm sorry.
That's all right. Hey,
Got my projects crossed.
So what we're saying is the Bishop brothers got this one, right?
Yes, I'm sorry,
Okay.
Bishop Brothers would
Yes,
be recommended low for this
right.
project.
Calvin, does the remodeling and probation include their entire space? Or at one time, they talked about phasing that into two projects rather than one. Is this doing their entire space, or is this still a phased project?
The total project would be phased out, but it will be included all in one, the project itself.
So this is the bid for the complete work, but it will be done over in separate efforts?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Calvin, I heard you say order of protection now. Order of protection though is
Yeah,
with the circuit clerk's office, isn't it?
correct, I had my
That's okay. I
projects
just wanna make-
crossed.
Because I didn't want to put order of protection along with the probation office because I thought they're different. But thank you. All right. Any other questions for Calvin in regards to this? Jim?
Calvin, and maybe this would have been a Dewberry question, but in the proposal, I know they had talked about a deduct for some flooring that had already been done, but it says there was additional cost-saving measures that were proposed. What would have those cost-saving measures been?
That would have been the flooring and if any partitions needed for fire service.
Are they doing it at the same time?
I don't know.
The temporary uprights that they're referring to are basically partition walls for the
It
roofs
would be
itself.
a separate resolution.
It is? I don't see it.
Oh, well, I don't know, I haven't seen it yet.
Any other questions for Calvin? Okay. Call for vote on the resolution. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed signify by saying nay. Ayes have it. Motion is approved. Our next item is public comment. Do we have anybody here for public comment? No one responding. We'll move on to miscellaneous. And it was brought up, about another matter of using all of the Biden money or the ARPA money, and we need to get a bid from our committee that will be in, and we can approve it before the next regular meeting by having a special meeting, and we'll look at the time that we want to set that special meeting on December the 12th. It's got to do with the circuit clerk's bid. I know that's our Christmas party that night, so we know we are going to meet. Executive board's going to have a special meeting also, right, Mr. Chairman? Okay. Do we have any other committees that are going to have a special meeting that night?
Not to my knowledge, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, we don't want to rush everybody since you're in charge. Sharon, what time would you prefer us having our special meeting? Okay. Okay, everybody ready for 5 o'clock? Okay. I'll set that meeting at 5 o'clock, a special meeting for the infrastructure on December the 12th. Anyone else with?
We're having a discussion. When's that potluck deal? You're at 5. Okay, I thought the meeting was starting at 5. Okay. All right.
It shouldn't take us very long. Anyone else? We want to congratulate Matt, his son Bo. Matt made the All-State team for the Coaches Association and our State Coaches Association. And he also made the Champaign News Gazette, which is a very, very important one for big schools and small schools in our state. Being no other comments, this meeting is adjourned.